Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you're new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4, wrapping up our 8th year of homeschooling, headed into our 9th year of homeschooling for the 2025-2026 homeschool year. I will have an 8th grader and a 4th grader. And I have recently purchased the bulk of what we will need for next homeschool year. And today we are going to have what I feel like is consistently one of the most popular videos that I do every year on my channel. And we are going to discuss budget for next school year. Let's go. Before we go any further, guys, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. So, if you are new here, we do this every year. There's certain videos we do every year because homeschooling is cyclical, and so some of the things you do every year. So when I share curriculum for 7th grade, next year I'll share curriculum for 8th grade, and so on and so forth. One of those things, as well as planning and clearing out and setting up a cart and turning over our homeschool space, all of that. One of the videos that is very popular and common every year and consistent is our homeschool budget. Something that I like to do is share with you my actual numbers, the real dollars and cents that one, I am spending, and 2, I am intending to spend, or what we allocate to spend. Now, before we talk about that, it's very important to me that cost is not a barrier to those who want to homeschool. Now, I recognize that cost is a barrier in many ways, as far as if you can still put food on the table and keep a roof over your head by choosing to homeschool. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual cost of materials and supplies. I'm a huge fan of finding, recommending, and sharing with you free or low cost, but incredibly high quality, valuable, robust educational resources for your homeschool. What I share are my numbers. How we got to my numbers, I will explain. This is what we do for our homeschool. It is not commentary for what you do or even a recommendation of what you should do. Every single homeschool budget is a very personal decision based on your family, your family's needs. I'm not saying you should spend more, and I'm not saying you should spend less. I am saying this is what we do. It has nothing to do with what you choose to do for your homeschool or what you're able to do for your homeschool. This is just what we do. And I enjoy coming here and sharing because I do feel like it is every year consistently a wonderful jumping off point to share resources that really do pack in a great amount of value. So whether that is a free resource that is incredibly amazing, or whether it is a high-end, more expensive resource, as long as you can get the value out of it. And I feel like this always opens up a wonderful discussion on the way people are saving money, which I think is very important in this economy and in this day. And also the places where people are like, I chose to splurge a bit on XYZ and it really paid off and it was fantastic and wonderful for my family. So it is just another tool that I like to share. I like to share my own real budget numbers because I do feel like that is helpful, especially when people don't know where to start or don't know what's normal or reasonable or any of those things. So for me, this is what we like to do. This is how we like to share. And again, it is not at all commentary on anyone whose life is in a different situation. So I think it's very important to start with that conversation. Okay, so let's talk about the numbers. I will give you a look inside my spreadsheet in just a moment because I went through and I figured out what all we've spent. So if you don't know, if you are new here, we have homeschooled the entire educational career of my girls. The littlest one since pre-K, the big one since kindergarten. Before that, because I did work outside of the home as a hairstylist, we did do a Mother's Day out program. So 2 days a week, morning to early afternoon, something like that. So the way that we decided how we would come up with our homeschool budget number is that we took their Mother's Day Out program was $2,000 a year for the full year. And if you prepaid, you got a discount. So we just took the $2,000 that we were already spending for childcare and we just slid that into their education. So we just took, we were already accustomed to spending it. It was already the number that we were comfortable with. It was already something that was just kind of like a nice whole round number. And so we just took that and kind of moved it over and purposed it differently. So because of that, we haven't actually upped it at all, but we'll get to that in a minute. So we consistently every year have $2,000 per child to spend for their homeschool education materials. That is just what we chose to do. That's how we chose to do it, and that's why we chose to do it. I have to tell you, I have never once hit that number. Not one time, not ever. And that is including science classes. Sometimes I'll throw some of their extracurriculars into that bucket, but not always, because for me, that's things I would be spending as a parent anyway. So I don't feel like it falls under like the homeschool umbrella. But I might do more of that this year because of just the way we're restructuring our homeschool for my brain and our life practices. So I might do more of that, but I might not. But I went ahead and I've got my spreadsheet ready to go, ready to fill in. I've got my numbers that I've already spent, what I'm anticipating to spend on a couple more things. And I want to take you along as we fill in my spreadsheet with my real numbers, both of what I anticipate and what I've already spent. And therefore you can get a look at where I'm at, what I'm doing. So if you ever wonder later in the year, how did this happen? Where did she go? What did she spend? I do have all of those videos here. So I've got my planning, my ordering, my budgeting, my using, and I will, as I do every year, share as much of the individual pieces in dedicated videos as I can. But if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to see earlier on, let me know and I will move those things to the front of the list, because I do try to get like language arts and math toward the front of the year to share early. And then also again, to let you know how it's gone toward the end of the year. And like I said, I am a huge fan of low cost or no cost resources. If you followed us for this past school year, for 2024-2025 homeschool year, you know, one of my absolute favorite things, it may be my favorite science we have ever done, has been the American Chemistry Society's absolutely free middle school chemistry curriculum. I go out of my way to share free and low cost resources. If you are looking for something in the elementary age, I have a video that I shared, I want to say it was about a year ago, on completely free. Same thing with middle school and same thing with high school. So go search those out. They are wonderful and valuable resources. You guys always, always, always come through and help me build the lists and help me share resources that are amazing and high value. So I am curious. Go ahead and drop on down in the comments if you feel comfortable. It's fine if you don't. I would love to know, like, what's your ballpark? What are you spending? Do you do, $100 per kid per year? Some people go in no spend years, which I think is completely admirable and amazing. This is just how we choose to spend it and things that we've fallen in love with that we love to continue using. So that is where we're at now. Let's pop on over and we'll fill out my spreadsheet. All right, let me go ahead and clear this. Oh, there we go, no film. Okay, so got my spreadsheet pulled up. I'm gonna gray out a lot of the big mess behind me because there's a lot. Now, okay, so here we go. Are you ready? I've got this gorgeous blank spreadsheet. I have my list of what I have already spent. If you are unfamiliar, this is the same thing I've used for years and years. I've got all the way back to 22, 23, how I used it. I am really bad about going back in. 23, 24 I must have done that one in a different program. And then last year, I'm really bad about going back and like continuing to update it as if I buy things throughout the year. So I am very bad at that. But I try. Okay, so I'm gonna get this all plugged in and we will look at my numbers. If you see, I've got a when, a what, how much it costs, and then my husband set it up to like auto math it for me so I know what's left. And then I've got color-coded stuff over here because there are some things I don't actually know yet. So I am just, you know what? I didn't put down any of the dates on when I spent this stuff. That was last Thursday, I think. So Yes, I think it was Thursday. Or maybe it was the 15th. I really don't remember. We're going to call it 4:15, okay? So 4:15. Okay, so I'm going to start with some of my big ones. You know what? I'll start with the first one I did. Timberdoodle. Now, this is not broken out by kid because I am a bad person who just didn't do that. There you go. See, it's auto-populating with my, I got to take my bracelets off. Drive me nuts. Auto-populating with what I spent. Now, if you guys watched that video, you can see all of these videos where I did the planning and the ordering, the whole 9 yards. I do have all of that. This is just the next in that series. It's my planning series. It's what I always like to do. And then I will have another kind of round of planning series in the fall of like turning it over, getting ready, making our schedules, like all of that. Because it is enjoyable. Now, Denison is still a projected cost, so I will go back and color code in a minute. Teachers pay teachers. Oh, no, wait. This is the date field. I can spell it. Teachers pay teachers. And then I'm just going to put myself a note for crash course. Oh, I don't like that little thing. Crash course. Because that's 3 different classes, like tests and kind of guided watching. Dang it, I keep putting everything in the wrong spot. Amazon wound up being $24.35. I do think I'm going to order a little bit more from Amazon because I'm thinking instead of doing binders of doing like the little discs so they can make their own kind of like disc bound spirals. Barnes and Noble, they have the exclusive Myrtle Jr., which was important to my babe. Okay, now these are also projected numbers, and that is because I don't know how much I'm going to spend on science yet, but it'll be about $500. And then also, I have no idea how much I'm going to spend on HMNS classes. For both kids, it can be as little as like $100, depending on how many kids we get to fill the class, or it could be much more than that for the year. And so I am just factoring in $500 to give myself peace of mind. As you can see, we've barely cracked our budget. So let me go through, and I am going to go ahead and color code these things, okay? So that will make me feel good, and I will fill this a nice this color, and this can be this color. And I like color coding it because it helps me understand what I've got going on or what is still outstanding, and that makes me happy. Wow, everything is like kind of communal this year, which is wild, but we'll see how it works out. This one was also both. This one is my wee babe. That's the right color? That's the right color. And then these will be everybody as well. So, isn't that kind of nuts? I am debating on including, and I haven't decided yet, some of their music theory workbooks. So I may go ahead and throw that in the homeschool budget because they are learning that. And I don't know yet, but I might throw piano in here too. We'll just see how it shakes out. It doesn't matter though, because to me it's an extracurricular I would have been paying for anyway. So we will see. So for right now, okay, so here we go. Let's go over here. So we have currently spent, let's do this. Did you know you can do math? All right. So this is what we are looking at currently. There we go. Look at me. Okay. So currently we are at $2,094, and that is assuming Denison is a set fee, so I know that's going to be the number. I just haven't bought it yet. And then the science classes, it just really depends on how that goes. So that is where we are for right now. What color go? Oh, woo, that's fun. Bright green like money. There we go. We'll go bright green like money. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. And I feel really good about it. This is how we budget. This is what we do. I will save this and be completely done. And that is our budget and how we're shaking out what we've spent so far for the upcoming 2025-2026 homeschool year for our 4th grader and our 8th grader. Thanks for coming along, guys. Well, guys, I hope that you found any of that helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Again, if you are comfortable to share, let us know down in the comments what that looks like for you. Do you have a number that you're willing to share? A percentage? Is it total? Is it per kid? How are you doing it? Do you maybe prioritize differently? Do you say, you know what, 50% of our whole homeschool budget is devoted to language arts because that's where you really want to spend? How are you doing it? We could even go like a fun like Google review, like restaurant style, like dollar signs, like $1 sign to $3 signs, like which one is it? I would love to read some of your feedback, so let us know. Bye guys.